Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is another UK mod showcase for Transport Fever 2. Got plenty to look at in this episode. There's been loads of new mods released just recently. Lots of, well not lots, but there's a couple of HST reskins already and the HST hasn't been out all that long. And Steve M4 has been quite busy with some steam locomotives, so we're starting with this, which is the LMS London Midland and Scottish 462 Coronation Pacific, or the Duchess, which are the most powerful steam locomotives for the British rail network. They were used on the West Coast Main Line up from London Euston up to Glasgow, and they do look rather splendid, I think. As usual, Steve M4 gone to great lengths with all the detail on these. There's a couple of different versions, colours, I guess. You wouldn't call them liveries on a steam locomotive, would you? But yeah, they do look rather good, I think you'll find, and they are pretty powerful as well. As just alluded to, the most powerful steam locomotive on the British network. So if I head into the depot, we've got steam, and then it's down here somewhere. The 462 Duchess, we've got a couple of different variants. We've got the BR Maroon, Crimson Lake, LMS Black, BR Green, and there's a BR Express Blue and another BR Black there. So yeah, top speed 100 miles per hour, power 2,940 horsepower, 802 kilonewtons tractive effort, so they are pretty powerful locomotive, and they should be start to become available from 1930. So it's early to late versions, and they go, I think, they went right up to 1960 perhaps, possibly. So yeah, just another good example of a steam locomotive by Steve M4. Got a couple of vehicles which I think people have been waiting for a long time, and that is some early DMUs. We've finally got some. CW315 has actually released two different variants. So we've got a Class 104, which is, what's this one? I think this might be the, yeah, this is the 104. That's a good, I actually got the right one. So we've got the Class 104, and we've also got the Class 110 as well. So the Class 104 should be available from 1957, and the 110, which we'll take a look at, 1961. But it's just really good to have an early example of well, I think the earliest example of a diesel multiple unit for the UK rail network. I know, doing the Northern Powerhouse series, I was trying to make money in the beginning, and I really did struggle with top and tailing 37s on carriages. They just weren't, on some smaller routes they weren't earning money, so it is kind of handy to have earlier DMUs, because on smaller, less busy routes they are capable of making a little bit of a profit sometimes, a lot more than loco haul services anyway. So yeah, just usual work by CW315, loads of detail, all the interiors and everything modelled. You even got the little exhaust there and all the engine exposed. There's a few variants of this. Looking at this, is this the one engine version? There are two engine versions, 3 car versions as well. So let's see if we can just take a look. We've got the 110 just passing by, that was handy. So pretty similar, but just slightly later, 1961 I think it is for the Class 110s. They do look relatively similar, but they do have some subtle differences, I think, but we'll check that out in the depot just now. So where is the depot? It's all the way up here. So we've got diesel multiple units, and we have around here somewhere, there. Just scroll straight past it. So we've got we've got one engine versions, a BR Blue, we've got a BR Grey, a Network South East version, but there are ones with, so we've got two car with one engine, top speed 70 miles per hour, power 299 horsepower. If we go to a 2 car, is there a 2 car 2 engine? Yeah, you can see 598 horsepower, still same top speed, but let's just have a look. A one engine 2 car unit has still has a mediocre power performance, so it's not too bad. It still might struggle if it's on a few hilly locations, but on flatter ground it shouldn't be too bad. But if we go to a 2 car variant, is that 2 car 2 engine variant, then that's got a good power to weight ratio. Let's see, we've got 3-car, we've got 3-car and 1 engine. I think that might struggle a little bit on hillier climbs, but let's see, 3-car, 2 engines, and then there's a 3-car, 3-engine variant of the 104 in the different colour schemes. Then you've got the 110 here, which, are they slightly more powerful? I would assume, yeah, they are a lot more powerful. Being later locomotives, they do have substantially more power than the other ones. That's got 3 engines, 1000 horsepower, 500 kilonewtons of tractive effort. So yeah, it's just good to finally see those early DMUs available for the game. What else have we got here? We've got some HST reskins already. We've got the Class 43 HST, the Mark III carriages with sliding doors in the great looking Scotrail livery. This is by Elliott 85. Obviously the original model is by Killer Cans. These, I think, did they start being introduced from 2018, the latter part of 2018? They just look really good in this livery. I think have I put I think I put the correct number of carriages on there, but yeah, they've got the different doors. They've got the sliding doors because obviously they've been refurbished and modernised, and they do look really good in that colour. And then we do have as well somewhere this one, the Cross Country HST, again by Elliott 85, original model by Killer Cans. These have different options actually, so if we just pause the game a minute, we've got sliding door variants, which are these by the looks of it, and then we've got the original slam door variant as well. These should be available from about 2007, I reckon. That's when Cross Country took over the franchise. So yeah, again, just a good looking livery for the HSTs. We're getting quite a few coming through now. We've got these, we've got the, well, I say we've got quite a few coming through. We've already had quite a few with the dynamic lines and things on the Mark IIIs, but it just looks as if a lot more should be coming through the pipeline anytime soon. We've got something a little bit different for the HST as well, which is this. This is a bit short formed, but we have this version here with the buffers. This is by CW315. This requires the Intercity 225 pack just to make the consist actually right. This was used from 1988 when the Mark IVs were being introduced, the 225s, but they didn't have enough Mark IV carriages. So what they did is they used some Mark III carriages with the 91, is it, on the back? But they needed the Class 43 to power the Mark III carriages, so it was used as a driving van trailer, but also used to provide electric power to the Mark III carriages. So yeah, just something a little bit different, but it just represents a bit of kind of HST Intercity 225 history. These had buffers so they could be rescued if anything happened, so they could be dragged from the front. So yeah, just something a little bit different, but I think it is just interesting to have within the game itself. If we head over to the depot, they are in here with the diesel locomotives. They're in with the HST, the Class 43 power cars, and they're all reversing because they are supposed to be driving van trailers in this particular instance. And you'll see there you've got the two different versions of the Swallow. Oh, it's 3 different versions of the Swallow livery there, and you can just, I don't think there's any extra information. The same power, same speed, but you can just see there they are different with having the buffers on the front. But just thinking, if you put this and a Class 91 together, is it a 91? Yeah, it is. Then you'll have a hugely powerful locomotive, because the way the game works, you can't really separate them. You know, it will have to work as a locomotive. So they've got 2,281 horsepower added to the power of the Class 91 there. So yeah, that'd be slightly overpowered locomotive, but nevertheless it is just interesting and cool to have these different variants in there. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm going to leave you with this Scotrail HST because I do like the look of this. I think they've done a good job with the actual branding on these HST, these short-formed HSTs for the Scotrail franchise. So I'm going to leave it there for today and say until next time, bye bye.